Eduardo Asylum.
Alright, so what is going on, guys? So, you're listening to the Eduardo Asylum, and I'm going to be reviewing this week's Smackdown. This is, how do I not know what day of the week it is? Okay, January 20th. Wow, that's, oh man, look what the summer does to you kids. Alright, so, let's get into it. Good week. I really enjoyed this week, actually, a lot, because it was just a better SmackDown than most, and I know people have been complaining about SmackDown lately, and this one, I think, for the most part, has shut a lot of people up, especially because, you had the whole controversy, and this was probably my biggest thing about it that I really enjoyed, is that they covered the women's controversy all over SmackDown. So they had reoccurring segments, talking about the controversy, which, for those that don't know, this is what happened at Money in the Bank. So Carmella basically couldn't retrieve the Money in the Bank ladder. She was too out of it. She was too exhausted, I guess. And, of course, James Ellsworth stepped in, climbed the ladder, took the briefcase, and handed it to Carmella. That being your controversy, of course. So all this pretty much leads to just segments all over. This leads to what's going to happen surrounding this. A big segment, and I thought that was really well done how they did that. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about how SmackDown started. So we got New Day coming out, and the New Day, they come out, they start talking about how the Usos own their own penitentiary, but yet they fled their own penitentiary, and of course they showed recaps of the following match and stuff. Now keep in mind, I missed 15 minutes of SmackDown, or maybe not even 15, maybe a little bit less, maybe 10 minutes. So I don't know what I missed prior, but as I'm pulling up my results, I'm seeing a Carmella promo. So I don't know what happened there. So all right, we'll get into that. So anyway, we end up having Big E versus Jimmy Uso, and that was what their pre-match promo, led to, which was good. I thought that was a good promo. They worked into it well. Okay, it makes better sense than if they were to just skip Big E's entrance and just have Jimmy Uso come out, because I've seen this in the tag team division quite a lot. Not recently, but like in previous years, like in 2012 and 2010. So I'm really glad they let them cut a promo, which of course I would expect. So anyway, the match itself, I enjoyed it. There was a few noteworthy spots where not necessarily for good reasons, because Jimmy Uso did a baseball slide, completely missed Big E, and Big E sold. Looked really bad. Jimmy Uso also did like an outside kick to Kofi, and that also looked really bad. It was just, that second one was a really bad camera angle. I think they should have, used a different one. And considering I get SmackDown at 8, you'd think they would have time to, edit that. But whatever. Overall, nothing really too bad. There wasn't any rough mess ups. Good stuff. Decent. Nothing to really talk about other than those two little segments. After which, the Usos tried to leave, but New Day, being Kofi and Xavier, blockaded them, which I would have kind of expected one of the Usos to just egg him on to hit him with the trombone, because Xavier was threatening him with the trombone, and if Xavier were to hit him with the trombone, he would still get disqualified. The match would be over, but yeah, whatever. Either way, the Usos were backed into the side of the ring, to which Big E picked him up, and I believe hit the big ending, something like that. And yeah, he just won 1, 2, 3. All right. So the next segment we had Naomi and Lana, where Naomi was asked, and here again, here's one of the good spots here. They were talking about the controversy, and of course Carmella had her segment beforehand, so it's been all over the show. So Naomi had her chance to talking about it, and she was she kept it brief, she kept it really good, very professional, like a champion. This kind of reminds me of like a 2002 segment where the storylines would carry on. It was good stuff. After which, Lana confronts her, talks about she wants her rematch, and Lana is, mad that Carmella distracted her, and of course, Naomi shut her up and put her in her place, which was good. This was easily Naomi's best promo since, I want to say, those 2 lines she said to Paige that one time before WrestleMania, leading into WrestleMania. So, honestly, that was it was a really good promo from Naomi. How talked about slapping her back into Russia. that was easily one of the best lines I've heard in a while. So Lana just looked bitched out, and of course she just put on her resting bitch face, as they call it. I don't know if that's the proper word I'm using for it. Mind me for being kind of a grandpa here, but that's what I heard somebody say. And all right. Anyway, this is getting awkward. All right, so next, let's see what was on the results. All right, so there's a backstage interview with Tom Phillips and Randy Orton, which I didn't really pay too much attention to. But from the stuff I heard, Randy Orton basically said, as I kind of expected, that he beat himself because he got carried away and, anger got the best of him, and that he's going to hunt down Jinder Mahal. So, that was really nothing special. The camera stayed on Randy's face for like good 20 seconds after he finished speaking, so it was really weird. Afterwards, we got Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler, and this was an amazing match. I loved it from start to finish. This was easily better than their match at Backlash. Like these two, I guess Backlash, it was a good match too, not discrediting it, but this one, it looks like they pulled out all the stops. It was competitive, it was back and forth. This was easily a pay-per-view caliber match. Honestly, I enjoyed it, and I like, honestly, again, great stuff from these two. Nakamura putting on a clinic, and so did Ziggler. Like, Ziggler was acting as heelish as possible, and at one point, they got me with the false finish. Ziggler hit the zigzag, and keep in mind, this was a lengthy match, so at the time I thought this was going to be over because, well, first off, the length, and, just the way this match had gone, Nakamura sold that zigzag really well, so, like, after which I thought, yeah, this could be it. And then Nakamura kicks out. Ziggler, of course, doesn't leave the attack. He doesn't go, oh, I'm all surprised. He just goes right back on the attack, hits a sleeper hold, which then I see Nakamura, he's kind of fading again. And, like, I thought that could have been the finish, and you could kind of push the sleeper hold again, which I didn't really expect. But, I wouldn't be surprised either way, because, that would be really cool. It would be really cool to bring that back. But either way, I did not want to see Nakamura lose, and I was kind of happy that he didn't, because, you know what, it was just like, if he were to lose on a Smackdown, and nothing wrong with that, but if he were to lose on free TV, it's just like, come on. And anyway, great stuff. Nakamura easily showed a really high moveset. He showed he still has that really high moveset. And, the thing about NXT, when I look at it, is like, you don't often get to use, when you're getting caught up to the main roster from NXT, you're, like, half of your moveset's, like, depleted for some reason. I don't understand why. And Nakamura seems to have increased. Nakamura is a contrary, He's doing a lot more punches with his hands. For example, he has that punch combination that he never did in NXT, or at least I never seen it. So Nakamura, he was doing a lot of his stuff. He did that jumping leg lariat, which I thought was really cool. This ended with Nakamura hitting him in the back of the head with that Kinshasa, and then another Kinshasa to the face, and then 1, 2, 3, Ziggler's out. And JBL, as he noted, he said, once Dolph Ziggler wakes up, tell me you had a hell of a match. And you know what? Judging by the way that match went, I would not be shocked to find I would not be shocked to find Ziggler like unconscious. I would not be shocked. But anyway, that was a great match, easily match of the night, by the way. So next we had a Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, and Becky Lynch. So, all right, this I thought was pretty good. This was really well done too. This was another one of the women's segments that I thought was really well done. But at the same time, we got Sami on TV, which was really cool. So Daniel Bryan's backstage praising Sami Zayn. He tells him, and Daniel Bryan and Sami's like thanking him and stuff. And Daniel Bryan tells him that next week he has a match with Baron Corbin. So that's the second match we have announced next week. And now we had Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn. He's you know what? Yeah, great. I have his number and stuff like that. And I beat him 3 times. And anyway, Becky Lynch comes in. She was about to speak, but then Sami Zayn, he starts talking to her. He tells her, I felt bad for your match. I felt bad for what happened to you. I thought you did really well. I was pulling for you. And I'm looking at this and I'm realizing, are they working a program with Becky Lynch and Sami? Like, could that be in the works in the future? I would certainly like to see it. I'd love to see like the dynamic of Sami and Becky. I think they would make a really cool duo. I've always been a big fan of both, so they're both currently my favorite members on the main roster and on SmackDown. So yeah, I would definitely love to see that in the future sometime. So I hope that this isn't the end of Becky and Sami. So next, Sami just leaves, and Becky, she starts talking about how she can't believe what happened, and that she's starting to no longer believe that this is the land of opportunity, that this is the land of just giving. And on WWE's YouTube channel, you see her cutting a similar promo. She's a lot more frustrated. She looks like she's about to cry during that promo. Here, she's a little bit more serious, so it was 2 different presentations of the same promo, which I kind of get. I think it makes sense to kind of do the same thing because first off, she was just talking to an interview in the backstage promo, whereas this one she's talking to Daniel Bryan, and now she has somebody who's going to listen to her. Now she has ears, and I thought that was really well done. Daniel Bryan, he starts explaining that it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, and Becky, she kind of she said something and I kind of missed it. I guess I wasn't paying attention. My bad. So I was kind of working out during the thing. Anyway, I thought that was really well done. But she said something, and Daniel Bryan had a look of concern on his face, and of course Becky leaves, and Daniel, he's left with nothing to say. So after which, let's see what we get. Okay, here we go. So we got Kevin Owens with the U.S. Championship Open Challenge. Oh, she said, is it really that complicated? Doing the right thing really that complicated? Sorry, I had to. And plus my notes, the results, so, yeah. Alright, so we had an open challenge from Kevin Owens. This is the second one we've seen, the second installment of it, so cool beans, as Anderson .Paak would say. So what Kevin Owens, he cuts his promos, and honestly, I was not a big fan of this the Face of America promo that he cut. Honestly, I'm becoming less and less of a fan of this Face of America, especially if that's the promos we're gonna get. Because look, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not my cup of tea. It reminds me of the Jericho heel run in 2009, not 2008, because from what I hear, everybody loved that year of Jericho. But in 2009, 2010, where he cut the big Paris promos with the big words like "you sleeving parasites," and honestly, it was kind of the same thing. And I'm sensing that was what we're gonna get here. And look, there was nothing wrong with that from Jericho, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Just like this really isn't my cup of tea either. So anyway, I thought it was, a decent promo. Not something I want to hear every week because, I kind of want to see more trash talking Owens, where he's just loud. Because honestly, the guy's a yeller. He does his best promos when he's yelling and stuff, and he's going crazy. But again, it's cool. AJ Styles comes out to answer the challenge, which of course he wasn't listening because Kevin Owens clearly said he had to be from Daytona. And I'm not being sarcastic here. He really said that, so oh well. AJ Styles, I don't really remember what he said too much. I guess he did talk about he said you know what's better than being United States champion. And then I don't really remember what else happened after that. And then I think Kevin Owens probably cut him off, but either way, Kevin Owens was cut off by American Alpha's music, and Chad Gable and Jason Jordan finally returned on screen, but Chad Gable returns to action. So, it was really cool to see those two get a match in, and Jason Jordan, he went backstage. I kind of wish he would stay as just manage him. Why the hell not? But it doesn't matter. The match itself, really good stuff. Kevin Owens started screaming at AJ Styles because AJ Styles made it happen. He made the match apparently, and Chad Gable, who had apparently moved in just today to Dayton, Ohio. He answered the challenge, and Kevin Owens asked him, "What's your address, buddy?" And Chad Gable gave his address, which I don't think that was the smartest move to do. But I think commentary mentioned that he gave the address to like a school or a college, so that's kind of funny to me. Anyway, the match started with Kevin Owens having his back turned to Jason as he's screaming at AJ Styles, and Chad Gable, he got a lot of offense in here. He showed his stuff. He hit the German suplexes. He hit a lot of amateur style wrestling, which is my kind of thing. A lot of the technical aspect of wrestling, the folk style. I wouldn't say folk style because he did a lot of more of freestyle wrestling or Greco-Roman. He did a lot of showcasing. He also did a really cool moonsault, and honestly, the nicest moonsault I've seen since Kurt Angle. Because back then in 2005, nobody could beat Kurt Angle's moonsaults. And honestly, I've seen a lot of moonsaults. I've seen Cody Rhodes hit one, and I'm coming off the recents. So Cody Rhodes has hit a moonsault, looks really nice. Kevin Owens has hit moonsaults, looks really nice. But Jason Jordan hits them much nicer than nobody can touch Jason Jordan's moonsaults officially. And my apologies, Chad Gable's moonsaults. Nobody. So that was really cool stuff to see. the match eventually ended with Kevin Owens throwing Chad Gable's face into the turnbuckle and throwing him into the ropes for a pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, and that was kind of the end of it. Great stuff from Chase and Jordan. The match didn't really go much longer than 10 minutes, and that's including commercial break because I did get to see the action during commercial break. Thank you, Smackdown. Alright, so let's get into what was next. Okay, so there was a backstage segment with the Hype Bros trying to convince Daniel Bryan to get their title shot still. And honestly, this is a case where I think they should have. Of course, Daniel Bryan told him that the SmackDown tag team division has changed a lot since then, which I guess it has in some cases. But if I were Daniel, I would have just given them the title shot. You know, I think it makes sense because, like, why the hell don't they deserve one? You know, they clearly fought for their thing and they never got it. And this is the land of opportunity. So, like, in fairness, they should have their title shot, you know, next week. But instead, they're having to fight for it again, and they have to beat the champion. So, honestly, I don't see the Hype Bros winning this. So I honestly think, you know, because they're still working their program with the New Day. So honestly, I think they should have just had their title match. Should have just given them the title match. And, you know, why the hell not? Why the hell not? It would have made SmackDown next week even much more must-see because now you'd be having 2 title matches and a really good match with Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. It would make sense. On top of that, you know, it's not like they're going to feud, so just blow it off. Blow it off like you did with Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley. I mean, Mojo Rawley beat Jinder Mahal and still got a WWE title match. Like, so how would that not make sense right here, you know? That was really a head scratcher right there, but whatever. Anyway, if I were them, I would just have them have their title match and, you know, just lose. Have them lose, of course, have the Usos go over, and yeah, because it's rightfully deserved, you know. And you know, after their program with the New Day, then, you know, you work them back in somehow, or, you know, whatever. But all right, that's that's enough of blowing my my load on this segment, which again kind of frustrated me, but whatever. So afterwards, the Hype Bros were okay with it, so, you know, good for Daniel and the Hype Bros. So next we had Daniel Bryan coming out, and this was the segment to close the controversy and address the controversy. So Daniel Bryan comes out, has everybody come out, and of course, Charlotte comes out first, standing ovation, practically just a sea of woos for her. Tamina comes out. I'm a little sad at this because there isn't much of a reaction for her. I'm sorry, but, well, hopefully she'll get there, because, I mean, all you gotta do is give her a little more showcase time, I think. Next, we got Natalia coming out. She got a little pop of boos right here. Becky Lynch comes out, gets a nice ovation. And then Carmella comes out. She gets a nice ovation of boos, too. Like, even louder than Natty. So, yeah. Thought that was really well done. Afterwards, Daniel Bryan, he starts talking about the interference of James Ellsworth. That there have been interferences. He makes that a point that there have been interferences in the past, but never has somebody actually taken the briefcase and then handed it to someone else. So, you know, he makes the 2 points. And then James Ellsworth gets in his face, talks about his daughter. And then Daniel Bryan, and, you know, this impressive bark, he gets mad. And I don't think he's ever even talked to Miz like this before, but he gets in James's face and he tells him to shut up. And if he ever talks to him like that, or about his daughter, then he's gonna punch him so hard he's not gonna be able to breathe, and he's gonna get fired. And that was really good. And this was really good. This was what I really liked right here. Is after that, Carmella starts talking to Daniel Bryan, and so like she starts retorting, and then Becky starts retorting at Carmella, and then after Becky starts retorting at Carmella, Natty retorts at Becky, and then Charlotte retorts at Natty, and then Tamina retorts at Charlotte. And I thought that was really well done because like everybody got their own chance to like say something really clever. And of course, some insults were better than others, but I don't care. It was really cool. Like so Carmella, I don't really remember what she said. I'm gonna be honest. I think oh yeah. So she told him not to talk to him or her like that. Not him being Ellsworth, that is. And they talked about beating everybody. And then Becky told her to shut her mouth, called her ratchet face, and then told her that she didn't beat anybody. Natty interrupts. She tells Becky to stop sucking up to Daniel, even though she was attacking Carmella, but whatever. Which I thought that was funny. Afterwards, she starts talking about she made oh yeah, okay. So this is what she said. She said that she didn't actually win the briefcase just because she climbed the ladder and touched the briefcase and then got interference and then called him I forgot what she how she insulted James Ellsworth. She called him chinless something. Anyway, it was a clever insult, and then hey, Charlotte, she interrupts, tells Natty that she's here for an announcement, a decision to be made, and if Natty doesn't shut up, she's gonna end up looking chinless like James Ellsworth. And then that was a clever insult. One thing I didn't like about that, and this is kind of my only criticism, is that Charlotte just kind of smiled afterwards and gloated in her own insult. I think she should have stayed serious, kind of sold the insult, sold the threat. Like that I didn't really like so much. Tamina, she later insulted Charlotte. She says if she doesn't shut up, she's gonna look like Charlotte should look like she's gonna look like James Ellsworth. And of course, she sold it really well. She sold her threat really well. I thought that was really good. She looked really serious. This is what Charlotte should have done, in my opinion. I didn't like that Tamina used the same insult as Charlotte. That really pissed me off. And if you were gonna use it, then at least throw a little inflection by it, instead of, you're gonna look like Ellsworth, just be like, instead, you're gonna look like Ellsworth, just kind of throw it in a little bit. I think that should have been done. That could have been done a little bit better, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Afterwards, Daniel Bryan, he tells everybody to calm down, and he tells them that instead, we're gonna get a rematch, and everybody's gonna relive. This was the wrong word he chose to use, because afterwards he got booed by the second women's Money in the Bank. He said, we're gonna relive that Money in the Bank match next week, and he got serenaded by boos, which I felt a little bad for, but Daniel Bryan clearly did not let that rattle him. He told Carmella to hand over the briefcase. Daniel Bryan just carried on, did not let the boos bother him. And he took the briefcase, walked off, and that was it. And after that, all the women started brawling, with Becky Lynch giving an exploder to Tamina. Charlotte, I think, gave a big boot to Natty. And afterwards, the only one that was left in the ring was Carmella, Becky, and Charlotte. Afterwards, Carmella's like begging. And in the meantime, slyly she did this. She did this really well slyly. She got in position for the natural selection, but as soon as I saw her on her knees, then you kind of knew what was going to happen. So Charlotte hit the natural selection. Becky gets in for the disarmer and makes her tap, and that was kind of it. That was Charlotte and Becky were left standing, And that ended that segment. And here I kind of missed the main event. So if anybody could tell me how Mojo Rawley versus Luke Harper went, please let me know. I kind of went in to shower, and then I ended up realizing I showered as long as the match did, which was about 15 minutes. I shit you not. So, yeah, overall, good show. Really enjoyed it. Badass show. And we got 3 important matches to look towards next week. Or 4, actually. So we got Corbin and Sammy. New Day. Not New Day. Hype Bros and the Usos next week for a number 1 contendership match. So the stipulation being added that if Hype Bros win next week, they're going to wrestle for the titles. And when they get their title match, I don't know, but I certainly look forward to that. You know, it's going to be a fun little match. I know the Usos are going to win next week, but what are you going to do? Still going to be a fun match. And it would be the right move to make the Usos win. Just saying. It would be the right move. Because as much as I like Zack Ryder, and listen, I'm not going to rag on Mojo Rawley, but he still has not won me over. So as much as I like Zack Ryder, and as much as it makes sense for them to have their title match, I honestly think the Usos should be kept to look strong. And if they're going to win it, then you know what? Do not have the New Day interfere, because then that would make the New Day look stupid, because now they entered a triple threat. And chances are they already have a title match for that title. Or so I think. Nothing's been announced, but you never know. So yeah, if that's the case, I think the Usos should definitely win cleanly. But if they're gonna lose, well, so be it. But make it a fluke victory, maybe. I don't know. Kind of protect the Usos as much as you can. I don't know how you would, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. Well, anyway, the next match we got is, of course, the Women's Money in the Bank. That I'm definitely going to look forward to. I'm sure it's not going to be as good of a match, because it's not a pay-per-view match, but who the hell knows? It's SmackDown, so we might just get an even better match, I'm expecting Carmella to kind of come out the winner again, and I don't know if James Ellsworth is banned from ringside. Of course, Daniel didn't say that, so we might not. We'll see. And what was the other match? Okay, Lana and Naomi, which of course I'm expecting Naomi to come out the winner in next week's match. So yeah, I don't really expect too much to change off of next week, but yeah, that's pretty much how it's gonna go. Overall, solid thumbs up from SmackDown this week, and yeah, that was my review. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night, everybody.